Hello everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to dive into an essential topic that forms the backbone of any successful financial plan: creating a budget. Whether you're looking to save for a dream vacation, pay off debt, or simply gain control over your finances, a budget is the key to achieving those goals. So let's get started. What is budget? Before we begin, let's define what a budget actually is. A budget is a plan that helps you track and manage your income and expenses. It allows you to allocate your money wisely and make informed financial decisions. A budget is essentially a roadmap for your money, helping you track your income, expenses, and savings. It empowers you to make informed financial decisions and provides a clear picture of where your hard-earned money is going. So without further ado, let's dive into the steps of creating a budget. How do I make a budget? There's 4 easy budgeting techniques. Firstly, automate your track. There's no real reason these days to save your receipts in a pile and wade through them later. There are apps for that. A smartphone app or a software program can help you track your budget. These programs often use the same security systems that online banks do. So if you choose a reputable tracker, you should not be concerned with the safety of your information. The programs will not only track your spending, but will help you categorize your purchases, send you alerts when you are nearing your budget limits, and help you set long-term financial goals and keep to them. There are some suggested apps, such as the best overall app is You Need a Budget. There's a free budgeting app called Mint. The best for cash flow is Simplified by Quicken. Best for overspenders is Pocket Guard. Best for building wealth is Empower, and best for couples is Zeta. Number 2, automate your spending. Automatic bill payments and automatic transfer of money into a checking account can take some of the difficulty out of sticking to a budget. After all, if you never see the money in your checking account, you won't spend it on things that are not in your budget. Just to be sure, keep enough funds in the account to cover your automated expenses so that you aren't hit with overdraft fees. Number 3, be flexible. Your budget has to be flexible enough to absorb some of life's nasty little surprises. Inevitably, unforeseen expenses will come up and bust your budget. It's important to recognize that a budget is a tool that can be adjusted if it isn't aligning with your spending. Number 4, consider your future. Most people understand the difference between wants and needs when it comes to budgeting. However, many people incorrectly place savings in the optimal spending category. You may ask, why do I need a budget? A budget can put you on a stronger financial footing in your day-to-day life and for achieving your long-term goals. By categorizing and tracking expenses, you may find it easier to pay bills on time, build an emergency fund, and save for major expenses such as a car or a home. There's some major rules to improve your financial. Step 1 is to calculate your income. The first step is to assess your income. Take a close look at all the sources of income you have, including your salary, freelance work, side gigs, or any other additional sources. Calculate your monthly income and note it down. Step 2, track your spending. Now that we know our income, it's time to track our expenses. This step involves analyzing your spending habits over a given period, typically a month. Make a list of all your expenses, such as rent or mortgage, utilities, groceries, transportation, entertainment, and even those small daily purchases like coffee or snacks. Step 3, set realistic goals. Before you start sifting through your information you've tracked, make a list of your short and long-term financial goals. Short-term goals should take around 1 to 3 years to achieve and might include things like setting up an emergency fund or paying down credit card debt. Long-term goals, such as saving for a retirement or your child's education, may take decades to reach. Remember, your goals don't have to be set in stone, but identifying them can help motivate you to stick to your budget. For example, it may be easier to cut spending if you know you're saving for a vacation. Step 4, make a plan. This is where everything comes together. What you're actually spending versus what you want to spend. Use of variable and fixed expenses you compile to get a sense of what you will spend in the coming months. Then compare that to your net income and priorities. Consider setting specific and realistic spending limits for each category of expenses. You might choose to break down your expenses even further between things you need to have and things you want to have. For instance, if you drive to work every day, gasoline counts as a need. A monthly music subscription, however, counts as a want. The difference becomes important when you're looking for ways to redirect money to your financial goals. Step 5, adjust your spending to stay on budget. Now that you've documented your income and spending, you can make any necessary adjustments so that you don't overspend and have money to put towards your goals. Look towards your wants as the first area for cuts. Can you skip movie night in favor of a movie at home? If you've already adjusted your spending on wants, take a closer look at your spending on monthly payments. On close inspection, a need may just be hard to part with. If the numbers still aren't adding up, look at adjusting your fixed expenses. Could you, for instance, save more money by shopping around for a better rate on auto or homeowner's insurance? Such decisions come with big trade-offs, so make sure you carefully weigh your options. Remember, even small savings can add up to a lot of money. You may be surprised at how much extra money you can accumulate by making one minor adjustment at a time. Step 6. Review your budget regularly. Once your budget is set, it's important to review it and your spending on a regular basis to be sure you are staying on track. Few elements of your budget are set in stone. You may get a raise, your expenses may change, or you may reach a goal and want to plan for a new one. Whatever the reason, get into a habit of regularly checking in with your budget and following the steps above. There's a really good rule to apply, which is called the 50-30-20 rule. The 50-30-20 budget rule is a plan for dividing after-tax income to help people reach their financial goals, with 50% being spent on needs, 30% being spent on wants, and 20% put into savings. The first 50%. Needs are those bills that you must absolutely pay and are things that are necessary for survival. Half of your after-tax income should be all that you need to cover your needs and obligations. If you're spending more than that on your needs, you will either have to cut down on wants or try to downsize your lifestyle, perhaps to a smaller home or a more modest car. Maybe carpooling or taking public transportation to work is a solution, or cooking at home is more often. Examples of needs include, but aren't limited to, rent or mortgage payments, car payments, groceries, insurance and healthcare, minimum debt payments, and utilities. 30% are the wants. Wants are all the things that you spend money on that are not absolutely essential. Anything in the wants bucket is optional if you boil it down. You can work at home instead of going to the gym, cook instead of eating out, or watch sports on TV instead of getting tickets to the game. This category also includes those upgrade decisions you make, such as choosing costlier steak instead of getting a less expensive hamburger, buying a Mercedes instead of buying a more economical Honda, or choosing between watching television using an antenna for free or spending money to watch cable TV. Basically, wants are all those little extras you spend money on that make life a little more enjoyable and entertaining. In general, examples of wants include, but aren't limited to, are new necessary clothes or accessories like handbags or jewelry, tickets to sporting events, vacation or other non-essential travel, the latest electronic gadget, especially an upgrade over a fully functioning prior model, ultra high-speed internet beyond your streaming needs, and etc. 20% is finally the savings category. Finally, try to allocate 20% of your net income to savings and investment. You should have at least 3 months of emergency savings on hand in case you lose your job or an unforeseen event occurs. After that, focus on retirement and meeting other financial goals down the road. Examples of savings could include creating an emergency fund, making IRA contributions to a mutual fund account, investing in the stock market, setting aside funds to buy physical property for long-term holding, making debt payments beyond minimum payments, and etc. And there you have it. A comprehensive guide to creating a budget, the foundation of financial planning. Remember, budgeting is not about restriction. It's about gaining control over your money and achieving your financial goals. So that's the first step today, and start budgeting. That's it for today's video. I hope you found this guide helpful in understanding the importance of creating a budget. If you enjoyed the video, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more personal finance tips and tricks. And as always, feel free to leave any questions or comments down below. Until next time, happy budgeting.